Hey guys, welcome to Mad About Film. Today I'm going to review the film Sweet Country by the director Warwick Thornton. Let's have a quick look at it.
Where'd you get your black stock from? You black fellas?
We're all equal in the eyes of the Lord.
I was 3 years on the Western Front. Not much sign of the Lord there. You run away, I'll shoot you for desertion. Now you give me that boy you're hiding!
This film is directed by Warwick Thornton, a cinematographer and director who previously won the Camera d'Or at Cannes in 2009 for Samson and Delilah. Sweet Country is based on a true story, actually, of an Aboriginal man that was actually tried for murder in the 1920s. It stars Sam Neill and Brian Brown, two acting legends of Australian cinema, but it also, for me, is the star turns of Hamilton Morris playing Sam Kelly and his wife Lizzie, played by Natasha Gori-Ferber, that are kind of like the real kind of Bonnie and Clyde in this film. The thing that's really good about this film is actually the character performances. Sam Neill plays this kind of preacher and this person of God who is kind of like overseeing the land, and there's also the righteous person who, when religion came into Australia in the 1920s, it kind of like, had a pervading sense of making sure that men did right and all the rest. So he's the voice of consciousness in this film. Brian Brown plays a police sergeant called Fletcher, and in this film he's very controversial because he's kind of the old kind of typical idea of he's the bridge, really. He's the idea of like the Australian man who doesn't care and wants to take everything, but also at the same time is sort of like feeling his way through this new country, hence the title Sweet Country. But it's interesting that how from his perspective and his character, his arc throughout the film, because he's a man of the law, yet he's a bit of a misguided man of the law, which is quite interesting to watch. Other notable character performances is Ewan Leslie, who plays a World War I veteran and is obviously clearly suffering from PTSD, and he plays a character which is really volatile and vibrant and just a bit dangerous, and that's kind of a main part of the story. And other character actors, also played by Matt Day and Thomas M. Wright, are really good in this film. There's a character in the film called Philomac, and it's played by two young Indigenous twins called Tremaine and Trevon Doolan, and obviously they are twins, so they play the same part. But that performance as well is really, really nice to see. What's really remarkable about this film is Warwick Thornton is a great cinematographer, and he really pulls everything out of the frame and really kind of like highlights the kind of sparseness and loneliness. So the frame tells a picture as such. But what's good about his narrative storytelling in this film is that you do follow the arcs of these particular individual characters, and it kind of just shows what the idea of man is about in this film, which is really, really interesting. And each character has an arc, each character has their way of being in the world, and you're kind of on edge for most of the movie, because you're thinking like, what's going to happen next, there is an intercutting kind of like playness to the film, and that's really interesting because you kind of like, you're not sure what's going on. There's sort of flashback scenes or forward flash scenes which kind of highlight certain things that happen within the film, and I found that a little bit distracting. But at the same time, it also may be a good thing in terms of sort of breaking up the narrative structure for you to kind of think about what may happen. So again, it leaves you on the edge of your seat. So yeah, I mean, distracting, but also a little bit intelligent, I would say, in terms of editing. I think for me, Sweet Country is a really vital piece of cinema. Coming from Screen Australia, and last time I heard about it, it was actually shown at the 2017 London Film Festival. And I think it's such an important drama that it's really, really worth watching. Like Samson and Delilah, like Rabbit Proof Fence, it's one of those films that will kind of leave a lasting impression. And it's a great sort of drama, a Western set story in the outback of Australia. And, just to know what the white man did to the Aboriginal and Indigenous people of Australia, it highlights that story, but within a dramatic construct. And every frame is bleeding with, great sort of like cinematography, and that's kind of, literally the point of seeing the film. So if you're in for a visual treat and a really good character-driven piece. So for me, it really does get 4.5 stars out of 5. It's really worth seeing, and it's in the cinema now, and it's released by Thunderbird Releasing, so go check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like to subscribe, like and comment, that would be really great. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and go see Sweet Country. It's a really, really good film. But also, if you want to see another video from my YouTube channel, just click here and remember to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.